Hello everyone, Keza here today, and I'm going to be bringing you Treasure Maps Explained. This guide should go over everything you need to know about digging up treasure maps, the loot they have, everything about their names, the skills needed, and the monsters you'll find, all that good stuff. So getting right into it here with a level 1 treasure map location. These are called plainly drawn treasure maps. They have no requirement for cartography. You can do them with any character. If you do not have GM Magery, you'll need at least 35 lockpicking, but if you have Magery skill, you can use the unlock spell on it. Monsters are skeletons, zombies, headless ones, and ratmen. The loot from the chest directly is 1,000 gold. You'll likely get around 1,500 if you loot the monsters, and there is a 1 out of 250 chance that you will find a level 7 treasure map by digging up one of these little guys. After you've looted the chest, you always want to chop it with some kind of an axe. Make sure you or someone else can dig up in that location again. Also, not chopping means people who have marked the recall location on that spot will not be able to recall there, and it's just kind of annoying, so always be sure you chop the chests. What you see me doing here is actually digging up a bunch more level 1 treasure maps at the same location. You don't have to do this. A lot of people like to recall around to a whole bunch of level 1 locations. Just pick the chest, maybe kill the monsters, maybe not. A lot of people don't think the level 1 monsters are worth it, but I mean, just kill them, loot them real quick, move on. I get a bunch of level 1 treasure maps in the same location, dig them all up, and then go on to somewhere else. Moving along to the level 2 treasure maps. These are called expertly drawn treasure maps. They do require 60 cartography skill and 77 lockpicking. You will not be able to use Magery on these ones to unlock them, so you actually need to build a Tmap character just to get these guys up. The monsters you can expect to find are Earth Elementals, Gargoyles, Gazers, Hellhounds, and Orc Mages. The loot is around, well, there's 2,000 gold in the chest, but you'll likely get 2,500 to 3,000 if you also loot the monsters, and a 1 out of 150 chance at finding a level 7 treasure map. Something to note about these lower level treasure maps, level 1 and 2 mostly, is that your odds of getting anything good out of them are pretty slim, so you really want to get through them quickly. I tend to take longer than most players with these just because I'm not using Provo, I'm not using a particularly strong tamer. I'm also just using one box versus using 2 characters for things, but I mean, these are just lower level treasure maps. Also, I loot pretty much the entire chest for level 1 and 2s, well, all levels really. A lot of people don't do that. They'll leave whatever regs or scrolls or armor and weapons are inside these chests. They'll just take the gold, make sure they're not missing any level 7 treasure maps out of there, and then they'll chop the chest and be on their way. As you can see, I'm not leaving the area of Aklo right here. I'm actually digging up another treasure map nearby. I don't typically have enough level 2 treasure maps to stack them on top of each other like the level 1s, but you can sometimes group them in like areas such as this, so you do save yourself some recalling or gating if you can just find 2 treasure maps that are right next to each other. Next up is level 3 treasure maps. For these ones I've switched to my Hellcats just because there's going to be fewer monsters and they're more difficult. My Hellcats do far more damage than my Drakes, and they're required for my higher level maps. Anyways, these level 3s are called adeptly drawn treasure maps. They require 73 cartography skill and 80 lockpicking. The monsters you can expect to find are fire elementals, air elementals, liches, ogre lords, and dread spiders, which have nasty poisons, so watch out for that. The loot is about 3,000 to 6,000 gold, depending on whether or not you loot the monsters. Chance at a level 7 is 1 out of 75. You can deal with these level 3s in a number of ways. I'm of course using a tamer here. You can use a Provo Mage, you can use a Provo Tamer, whole bunch of ways you can go about these. The stuff that could dispel summons, like liches and whatnot, could be provoed onto other stuff. The only things that really worry you with these is, I think, the Ogre Lords. They're quite a bit stronger than anything else that comes up out of these. They do hit pretty hard and they have a lot of hit points, so just find a way to deal with them and you'll be fine. Just be sure to watch out if you're using a restock macro on the chest to loot reagent scrolls or just everything out of there. There is a random chance to spawn more monsters every single time you loot something from a chest, so you can randomly just loot 3 things and all of a sudden you have 3 Ogre Lords hitting you, which would really hurt. So if you're restocking, I would stand 1 tile away from the chest and be sure you can take 1 more step back so you're out of range. That's something I do a lot, but you'll see more of that with the level 4s here. As you can see from the monsters being dug up from this level 4, they are a good bit more difficult than the 3s, but still manageable by a great number of builds, tamers, provo characters, all kinds of stuff. They are called a cleverly drawn map. They take 91 cartography, 95 lockpicking. Monsters you can expect to dig up are Elder Gazers, Dread Spiders, Lich Lords, Poison Elementals, and Demons. The loot from the chest itself is 4,000, but if you get lucky and get lots of spawn, you can get up to 10,000 gold just from all the different loot. Chance at level 7 is 1 out of 40 in these guys. Now, as much as I like to stand right next to the chest while I dig it and just kill everything on the spot, I cannot do that with level 4s because there's just too much spawn, so I end up dragging it all away and killing it one at a time like you see here. If I had Provo, that'd probably be a different story, but this character does not have provocation, and I really don't care for using 2 characters unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, you can do these guys with a tamer if you want to do the drag them away like I'm doing. If you have a Provo mage, you can probably just stand right on top of the chest after you dig it up and start dropping a bunch of Provos on everything and likely use 1 or 2 summons. So several ways to go about these. On this chest run, I was actually lucky enough to find a level 7 map, in which case, if you find that, you probably just want to recall home right away and then get back to finish off the chest, which is what I did in this case. Finding those level 7 treasure maps is a big draw for doing these. That 4,000 gold treasure map just profited me something like 300,000 gold just because I found that level 7 map. I also happened to get around 10k and another plat out of that chest as well, so that particular one was much more profitable than most. I don't always get that lucky, of course. A lot of times it's just a lot of the same old digging up maps over and over, trying to find anything better in the next one. But moving on to the level 5s here. These are called deviously drawn treasure maps. They require 98 cartography and 99 lockpicking, so pretty much GM. Monsters you can expect to find: Poison Elementals, Lich Lords, Blood Elementals, Titans, and Balrons, which can be a real pain. The expected loot, there's 5,000 gold in the chest, and if you get lots of spawn, you can get up to 13,000 gold, maybe more. It just depends how many monsters come up. And the chance at a level 7 in these is 1 out of 25. You can see I'm using the same tactic I did for the level 4 maps, which is just drag the spawn away 1 at a time, kill it with my tames, and then go back until the chest is cleared. Once it's cleared, of course, unlock. On these ones, it's more important than with the other levels to use telekinesis from a range. Pretty sure level 5 and 6, if you try to open them without untrapping, you will insta-die. So definitely use telekinesis on it. Go in, loot, but be careful about looting, because again, if you're using a restock agent to loot a level 5 chest, you can very, very quickly get 2 Balrons hitting you, which is another insta-death situation. So just be careful using restocks on these higher level chests. It's, you know, do it at your own risk kind of thing. Something important to note, monsters do automatically attack the person looting the chest. That is, the additional monsters after the chest has already been dug. So if your pets are on all guard, like my Hellcats are, they will automatically attack the first monster that's targeting you. So when this Balron was dug up, my Hellcats immediately attacked it, in which case I had to jump in and heal very quickly, because if I miss even one heal, then the Hellcat is toast. Dragons will be a better choice if you like using dragons. Now, moving on from level 5s to the level 6. This is the ultimate level of digging up treasure maps that are not instanced. And wow, get your running shoes on, because as soon as you dig up these level 6 maps, you need to run. There's a very good chance you'll instantly be killed as soon as the level 6 map comes up. It's kind of random, depending on, I don't know, just which side you're standing on and where the monsters spawn, but about half the time I can get away alive. You just make sure you bless your character, have magic reflect up, and be very quick. Once you start digging, you can remount, so yeah, be on a mount and just run. Anyways, these level 6s are called ingeniously drawn treasure maps. They require 99.2 cartography, definitely GM lockpicking. Monsters are ancient wyerms, shadow wyerms, lich lords, blood elementals, and balrons. Just all the worst stuff you can imagine. Loot is, there's 10,000 in the chest, and you on average can get 40,000 gold, but it can be much higher than that, and I'll explain later. Chance at level 7 is 1 in 10, so very nice odds on that. Now, even if you don't die right away when you dig it up, don't expect yourself to have an easy ride. Just trying to pull 2 of these monsters, I got wasted quickly. So yeah, these ones are tough. It's more common to do them with a group of people. You can do them solo, but as you see, I'm forced to use 2 boxes here, which I usually don't do that often. Mostly I'm doing it because I need the drakes to tank these things so that my Ostards can do all the damage and take them down quickly enough to make this whole operation even make sense for me. As far as I know, the only box or single box that can pull off a level 6 treasure map is a Provo Tamer. And that's kind of a tight build to fit cartography and lockpicking into, but it can be done. You could also maybe do it with a Provo Mage, but that's going to take a while because these things dispel so fast. You're going to be relying on the Provos to basically all do the damage to each other, and that's just going to take quite a while. So yeah, typically either done with multiple boxes or with a group of people. You can see me here pulling 1 item from the chest at a time to avoid any multiple spawn, because 2 of anything on my little group of fragile tames here is just going to be a complete wipe, most likely. So I pull every single item 1 at a time. There is a way you can quote-unquote milk these level 6 chests, which I'll show you on a different one here, where you do the whole clearing, you loot every item 1 at a time from the chest, but then you leave the gold pile there, the 10,000 gold, and then you can loot the gold 1 gold at a time if you want. What this will do is it will continually spawn more balrons, ancient wyerms, white wyerms, and all that stuff, just so you can kill it and loot it if you want, since the main contents of the treasure chest will already be gone, and you'll have already gotten your 1 out of 10 chance at getting the level 7 treasure map. If you want to continue just getting raw gold out there, the chest does last for 1 hour, which is roughly the time for most instances here, so you're kind of creating your own little instanced, but it is in Felucia here, so I mean, if a PK happens to roll up on you while you're milking a level 6 chest for as many monsters as you can, it's not really against the rule set to do this. You can just continually do it. Of course, if you're doing it with a 2 or 3 box like me, you're not going to be able to yield a whole lot more gold. The main 10,000 plus, I usually get something like 30 to 40,000 depending on, you know, the spawn. I believe with this one I milked, I got like 50,000 out of it, but I didn't do the full hour of the chest. I just did like 45 minutes worth. That's everything you should need to know for level 1 through 6 treasure maps. I'm not covering level 7 in this video because the level 7 maps are actually just digging up the entrance to an instanced zone, which is a whole different thing than digging up treasure maps that have monsters in a single chest. So that is all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them, and as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully I get to see you guys around sometime in game. Later.